Welcome to SVG-TV's news on Saturday, January 9th, 2016. I am Rochelle Batiste with the headlines. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, says that his administration will direct its focus on growing the economy and the creation of jobs. In his New Year's address to the nation entitled The Quest for Improved Life and Living in Challenging Times, Dr. Gonsalves says before the end of January, his government will present the estimates of revenue for 2016 and the appropriation bill, also known as the annual budget, which he says will be grounded in prudence and enterprise. He also called on Vincentians to be more thriftier with their spending.
Our government will present and secure passage of the estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year 2016. Sometime thereafter, within the prescribed legal time frame, the appropriation bill, otherwise known as the annual budget, will be passed by the Parliament. The estimates and appropriation bill will be grounded in prudence and enterprise. It is necessary and desirable that we be prudent in our spending, manage efficaciously our fiscal deficit and public debt, secure further financial stability, ensure economic growth through public and private enterprise, enhance wealth and prosperity, create more jobs, reduce poverty and hunger, strengthen the social safety net for the vulnerable, stimulate sustainable development overall, and further improve public administration and good governance. Centrally, therefore, in 2016, we must direct our efforts primarily to growing the economy and ensuring the creation of more jobs.
Head of the SVG Police Force, Michael Charles, is sounding a caution for members of the public to be more on the alert for deceptive persons. Commissioner Charles says that there have been some shady characters who have swindled persons out of money by even acquiring legitimate documents to promise them goods. The top cop says that he is pleased that the police have apprehended one such notorious individual. However, he said there are others who continue to deceive persons out of their earnings through their shady ways.
And somehow he was able to disguise himself as a person from the government, from that department, and going about and taking people monies and so on. And there's a lot of this. Not only that, he's been able to call business places pretending to be different persons, and it's amazing how we get through to these things. He is currently in prison, and there's no hold back. He's still operating from the prisons. So this deception is really that this part, and I say this person is one of the main, if you want to say, contributor to that type of offense.
Commissioner Charles also advised persons to exercise prudence when dealing with currency, as there are numerous counterfeit notes in circulation, and that his officers are doing their best to crack down on offenders.
From time to time we receive information. We executed a warrant some time ago and got a large quantity of counterfeit money, and this is because of information we receive. So once people continue to give us the information and so on, and if business persons can identify the counterfeit currency and identify the person who gave it to them, then we can interview this person, because sometimes the person who pass off these counterfeit money, they were given to them to genuine business, so they're not the persons who actually are committing the offense, but unfortunately they have to come before the police and so on when you have other things to do. But that's also a cause for concern.
The Cuban diabetic foot ulcer treatment known as Hyperprop P, according to reports, has been successfully administered here. SVG is the first Eastern Caribbean country to use the new product of Cuban biotechnology. An initial group of 12 patients reportedly received the medication, which resulted in healing of their lower limbs and prevented worsening of their condition, which usually ends up in amputation. The medication is being administered here free of cost. A call has been made for greater involvement of teachers in religious sessions at schools, such as daily or weekly devotions. The call was made by Bishop Wendell Roberts, who was addressing educators and other persons at the annual church service by the Ministry of Education held earlier this week at the New Life Ministries in North Union. According to Bishop Roberts, this is another true example of selfless service, noting that true transformation can only come through the help of God.
I know that devotions are done at your schools. I want to encourage you teachers to take an active part in these sessions, an active part in the devotion sessions. It should not be left for a few teachers on the staff, but rather this should involve all members of staff. To those teachers who are believers in Jesus Christ, your inter-school fellowship groups are crying for your support. Your inter-school fellowship groups are crying for your support. Get involved in some selfless service, and if you just 30 minutes a week to strengthen the hands of these groups. If your school doesn't have such a group in, I challenge you to start one immediately. Your season will come for you to receive your reward.
Bishop Roberts noted that teachers should be conscious enough to understand that their assistance is needed in shaping the future of the nation's youth. He further stated that one's perseverance in doing well is the only assurance in gaining a reward for their selfless service.
Your school system, that's the system that you really do everything to make sure it's a vibrant system. Wherever you are, if you receive a benefit from where you are, feel it. Sometimes the people that you take time out to help most of all, you did a very much sport if I can use that term this morning. The people that you make sacrifice and you make inputs into their lives and you try to better their condition and better their situation. The people that you want to spend your life as it were transforming. Very often, some of these people, not all of them, thank God at all. Some of them are the ones that come back and you have them in your hand. And when we get bound that way, the thing that we say, I have no one else to help. But everybody is not the same. And the truth of it is that God wants us to help people. The devil doesn't want us to help people. So, once we can come to the place to God and say, I have nobody else to help, that's exactly the devil wants you. But I'm said unto us, our responsibility is to help as many people as we can.
A series of activities will be held in the Fancy community next week in remembrance of the students who died in the rock gutter accident on January 12, 2015. 7 students died in the accident after the passenger van they were heading to school with went over an embankment and into the sea. 5 of the bodies were recovered and buried, and 2 have not been recovered. Those who died are Anik Alexander, Raquel Ashton, Jamal and Jamali Edwards, and Glenroy Michael. Their bodies were recovered. The other 2 who were not found are Simonique Ballantyne and Chanstacia Stay. On Monday night, there will be a candlelight vigil from Fancy to Rock Gutter, started at 9 p.m. and end at midnight. On Tuesday, January 12th, exactly 1 year since the horrific accident, there will be a wreath-laying ceremony at Rock Gutter from 11:30 a.m. for the 2 students whose bodies were not recovered from the sea. This will be followed by another wreath-laying ceremony at the Fancy Cemetery, then a memorial service on the Hard Court in the afternoon. Young entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs here are being encouraged to take advantage of an opportunity to participate in the Caribbean Innovation Challenge CIC 2016. Organizers of the competition, the Young America's Business Trust, UBET, has announced an extension to the deadline for registration to next Friday, January 15. The CIC is an international support program and business startup accelerator for entrepreneurs in the Caribbean, organized by the Young America's Business Trust Plus in collaboration with REACH, regional and national partners. The CIC helps transform intellectual ideas into profitable business models through the commercialization of intellectual entrepreneurial assets. CIC 2016 will award projects in the creative industries and technology commercialization categories. The Center for Enterprise Development, Inc., the CED, is a Yabut local partner, and as training and education coordinator, Keisha Phillips, is calling on Vincentians to ensure that they registered for the CIC 2016. Vincentian Karama Jerome of Emerald Energy emerged one of the 6 winners in the first edition of the CIC Finals in 2013 with his wind and solar power model boat, and received the Best Environmental Award for developing an innovative project or idea that contributes to solving environmental challenges. He also went on to the hemispheric rung of the competition, the Talent and Innovation of the Americas, the TIC.